cuts rate in risk management move as Bitcoin eyes possible upside. The U.S. Central Bank lowered its benchmark rate range by 25 basis points to 4% to 4.25%, citing softening labor markets and economic uncertainty. The Federal Reserve has returned to easing mode after 10 months of taking a wait-and-see approach on the U.S. economy. In a widely expected move on Wednesday, the U.S. Central Bank cut its benchmark Fed funds interest rate range by 25 basis points to 4% to 4.25%. The lowest since December 2022, in what Fed Chair Jerome Powell called a risk management cut. The Fed acknowledged that economic growth in the first half of the year moderated, and the job market has slowed. This slowdown, Powell said during a press conference, is mostly due to changes in immigration. Nevertheless, there was no widespread support for a larger cut, he said, and that the Fed was right to wait to lower rates and will not be rushed to cut more aggressively. The decision follows growing signs that the U.S. labor market has begun to decisively weaken, the latest being the August employment report, which showed the addition of just 22,000 jobs to the economy and the unemployment rate rising to 4.3%, the highest since 2021. The Fed is under pressure to lean more dovish, and any successor to Powell is likely to favor faster and deeper rate reductions. Chris Rhine, head of liquid active strategies at Galaxy, said, while risk assets had largely priced in this cut, the updated dot plot aligns with recent sell-side forecasts, pointing to another 50 BPS of cuts ahead. Alongside that data, revisions to previous months' reports showed far less jobs had been created than previously thought. Added to that was political pressure in the form of President Trump's repeated criticisms of the Fed's hesitancy to act in the face of what he insists has been softening inflation. Powell said during Wednesday's press conference that the Fed is strongly committed to maintaining its independence. In the minutes following the rate cut, the price of Bitcoin BTC $116,735.08 rose about 1% before giving up gains. It is currently down about 1.5% since the decision, trading at $115,092. Major U.S. stock indexes, which have been repeatedly carving out record highs for weeks ahead of the Fed move, also briefly rose on the news but later fell sharply. Gold followed a similar move. The dots leaned more dovish, signaling the Fed is open to accelerating the pace of easing if conditions demand it, said Matt Mina, crypto research strategist at 21 Shares. That repricing risk is now front and center, creating an asymmetric setup for Bitcoin. While today's 25 BPS cut provided the spark, it is the path implied by the dots, more than the cut itself, that may set the stage for Bitcoin to challenge new highs into year-end. A glance at the Fed's dot plot shows that the Commission is torn about how the rest of the year will unfold. A slight majority of participants of the Federal Open Market Committee (FOMC) believe there could be 2 more rate cuts this year. 7 out of the 19 participants see rates kept steady throughout the year. Update September 17, 1818 Universal Time Coordinated adds dot plot projections and markets update alongside commentary. Update September 17, 1839 Universal Time Coordinated adds quote on markets. Update September 17, 1845 Universal Time Coordinated adds quotes from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell.